Really, man. Friends in low places over there at MTV. Yes, indeed. You don't want to be there. You want to be somewhere in the divine MTV, you know, where there really is money for nothing and chicks for free. And guys, oh man, they're a dime a dozen, baby. Don't even have to pay for them anymore. Well, you pay another way. No, I'm kidding. See, again, the commercial aspect. It's part of our essential programming, you know, that makes us think in terms of commerciality and just about everything we see, say, do, think, feel, and all that. All of our activities are somehow designated or restricted or enhanced or whatever by the monetary circumstances that surround us, and it's essentially stupid and impure to live like that. But we don't know that, you know. We just got to let the heart flow forward and bring it forward. Bring the consciousness forward that, you know, we're already wealthy. We don't measure it any longer. You can't measure love. You can't measure wealth and abundance. It simply is. Most people don't even understand what it is. They think it's a long stretch out Cadillac and a great big old fancy house and stuff like that. Airplanes and jets and shit like that. Nah. It's a reality you live in. It's the comforts you have inside of yourself. When you've told yourself the truth. When you've allowed the truth to be. When you've seen through the boogeyman of hatred and division and the division that causes the hatred. When you see the unity, the equity, the equitous energy in all life. And you see how it can truly be. Guess what? You just created it that way. Because how it can truly be is how it truly is. And we've been living in illusion. Again, we've chosen this way. Quite an unusual path, I'd say. In the whole universe, there's nothing like it. You know, there's not another commercial aspectual reality anywhere that I know of. You know, and there might be somewhere hidden in the fringes of reality somewhere. But as far as I know, this is essentially the only one right here in this Earth dynamic. I won't call it on planet Earth because it's not just the planet. It's the whole reality. You know, it's the matrix. It's the made-up thing, man. The what do you call it? Ethereal world, the one that doesn't really exist, but we've accepted as a reality and lived in, you know, like the old bear in the cave, hibernating and living in the nightmarish dream of unreality. We've been doing that for a long time. But guess what, baby? We're waking out of it now and coming back, getting our hand off of the plow and learning how it is to be to live in creativity. Where everything you need, of course, is provided, and abundantly so. That's the wealth I'm speaking of. And babies, we're just learning this, relearning this process, reawakening to it inside. So be real patient with yourself. You know, deal with the economics as you have to, but notice, you know, the commercial aspectual thing. It's just like that little judgmental thing that starts categorizing people, that automatic programming that wants you to do that all the time. But when you're conscious of it, it ceases to be, and you start to be more flowing together more naturally. There's more understanding created rather than division. We're melding with others in a conscious sort of way, in a conscious sort of presence that exists in every one of us. That's the oneness, is that conscious presence in everything. And in that conscious presence, well, it's got the self-fulfilling love. That mother, that nurturing love. And, you know, mother would not deny you anything. You know, she would have you have everything. And therefore, that's what flows to you. It's everything your heart desires. In the true loving life that it is, in the compassionate, caring way that it truthfully is. The same way a baby loves everything that surrounds it. And that's why it creates it so delightfully. I mean, this golden child. Now, some of you may have had childhoods that were a little different than that. But oh well. Just remember, it's you creating it. If you lived through a little drama as a child and you went through a whole bunch of heart abuse or whatever, you did it for some very superior reasons. You allowed yourself to be, quote, quote, victimized in order to come back to life. That this kind of shit would end with you. You're the last victim. There never is to be another. And there are no victims, really. There's volunteers in service to love. You got to understand the deeper ways here, you see. And the deeper ways, those that we live in creation, say that we've done those moments in this dramatic play we call life. We've allowed those moments to come to us, you know, as a means completing cycles that we as soul presences began long ago, when we had the great confab and began to consider the possibilities of what we were going to live in as we stepped into this nightmarish dream. See, so we're kind of returning to that confab here today. You know, we're in a sense, as you close your eyes and go inside yourself and feel the heart's presence once again, you're feeling a unity that goes beyond description. You're feeling a unity with the universe. And that is the confab at play. Now, as we go along today, we're just going to settle back into that energy, that soft, downy way, and allow it to flow through us. And see what the confab has in store for us right now in this moment of time. Because that's where we'll dream that creation into being collectively. Talk about revolution, there you are. And June 21, too, babies, here in Crestonia, Colorado, or Crestone as it's properly called on the maps and so forth, just in case you can't find it. South Central Colorado, in an isolated little place nestled up against the Sangre de Cristo, the great mamas of love here on the Mother Earth, part of the Rocky Mountain Range, babies. We're living high here. And June 21, all the coyotes going to fly here. The Vibe Tribe is gathering. That includes you, of course, because we're all coyotes, don't you know? And we're all loving hearts, and we're all on the medicine show, and all a part of this united family of humanity, each and every one of us. Well, I'm inviting all of you that want to be here. Come on out on June 21. That's a Sunday. Coincidentally, and it's also the summer solstice, but it's a time of gathering, partying, and playing here in Crestone, Colorado, as all the Coyote Vibe Tribe comes around, and we vibe this place up by what? Partying down, man. You know, sitting around the campfires and just having ourselves a great old time. Singing, dreaming, creating, being in communion with, I mean, it's the first time in the 21st century that the whole entire Coyote Vibe Tribe's been drawn together, you know. Well, yeah, this is the 21st century, isn't it? Oh, well, this is the time and this is the place. See, we're already gathered here and in these other places like Facebook and so forth. So, babies, we might as well just do it here, too. So, come on out on June 21. There's no charge for anything. You can help me out with expenses if you want. We'll just work together. I'm not worried about it in the least. You know, I don't even have a central location for it. Just come to Crestonia, the general area around Crestone, and we will party down, babies, you know. And I'll just gather the site to us as the numbers show themselves, as we, begin to determine how many people really are coming this year. So we're down to it's just about a month and a half away, 5 or 6 weeks away. So be ready for this, babies. Be preparing, and now's the time to make your reservations or to make your travel plans and so forth, Just take a look at it. And then later today, I'm going to put up an event page for it on Facebook. And I'd appreciate it if you even think you might come, click the going tab, so I'll have an idea of the numbers to expect. So if we and if you're the kind that don't want to be known that you're coming, but you just want to show up, that's okay too. Because there's some that will click the going that ain't going to show up, because, circumstances are what they are. So, just to give me an idea of the numbers that might be here, I'm going to put that event page up, and I ask you all to either click going or not going. If you know you're not, then you might as well click not, or if you want to hide your existence, click not. But, if you want to give me an idea of whether you and a whole bunch of others are going to show up, or we're just going to have a half a dozen or 3 dozen or 10 million, pray that it ain't nothing like that. But anyway, just give me an idea. You click the going button if you think you're going to make it. But especially if you've already got your reservations and stuff, then for sure. And if you need, transportation from the Moffat bus to get into the site, let us know, and we'll get, it's going to be a gathering. There's going to be people with vehicles, and we'll start marshaling people together and get it organized and make sure people get picked up at the bus. Or if you're coming in to play to Alamosa, Colorado, we'll arrange to have someone meet those planes for you, too. Make sure you get up here. you know, if you're coming in those ways. The DIA, now that's a little out of our range. That's like 200 miles away, the Denver airport. So if you're coming in there, the thing to do is go talk to them at the RTD counter, which is the RTD is the transportation, the public transportation, and they'll sell you a ticket to Moffett, Colorado on Black Hills stage lines, or they'll, you know, get you on the bus to get you to the Greyhound terminal, which connects with the Black Hills stage lines that serves Moffett, Colorado. And Moffett, M-O-F-F-A-T, is the destination of that bus. And from the DIA, it's like about 35 or 38 bucks, something like that, to ride down to Moffett. And Moffat's like at the bottom end of T Road, which is the road leading into Crestonia, babies. So there you are. And like I say, we'll make sure somebody with the vehicle is there to greet you and bring you if you let us know you're coming. You can do that in the comments on the event page, and I'll try to get it all written down and categorize or put it into a program, one of those scheduling programs. Anyway, we'll make sure everybody gets covered. If there's a whatever your arrangement is, let us know. If you're hitching in, well, hitch on in, baby. That's the way to be. And I got to tell you, T Road usually is a pretty good hitch if you happen to, you know, once you arrive there. Hitchhiking anywhere outside of that can be a little extreme and difficult, but there's a lot of good people in this area, so I think you'll get a ride, you know. Sometimes you just have to wait for that good person to show up, because there's a lot of them going to pass you. But once you get to T Road, which is that Love Alive Drive leading into Crestonia, Colorado, well, most of the folks that run that road are fairly friendly. If they got room in their vehicle, they'll stop and pick you up and pack you along, man. They're really sweet that way, you know? So that's June 21, 2015, here in the general Crestonia area. We'll have a place to check in. We'll make sure that you find us, you know. But well, in the meantime, we may even wind up with a site. You never know. But we're definitely going to have a rockin' good time. There's plenty of places to go here. That's what I'm pointing out to you. You know, some of it might be a little isolated and remote. Like, I think the last gathering I did it up San Isabel Canyon, which is just a little north of Crestonia. Beautiful location, perfect for what we do. But wow, it's a ruggedy road going in there. And, you know, we had... well, most folks didn't, you know, I knew they wouldn't try. And I tried to provide some four-wheel drive transportation because it's a half a mile from the where the road gets rough to the campground area, which is real primitive, by the way. Be prepared for that. This will be primitive camping one way or the other, no matter where we go. But this San Isabel Canyon was so gorgeous. And, you know, we're right there by a bubbly little mountain stream that drains about 20 tall peaks behind us, you know. Amazing energy in that area. Very high quartz crystal content in the mountains around you. I mean, it's a high vibe, babies. It's an awesome thing. And it's worth more than a little struggle to get up that ruggedy old road. But what you do, we'll figure out parking area, and we'll just get a shuttle. You know, a four-wheel drive shuttle. There's people here with them. We'll find one. So if we go up that way, which I don't think we're going to do that this year. I think we'll be somewhere else. I have an idea of where it might be, but I can't reveal it just yet because I have no arrangements for it. But all I can say is follow your heart, follow the flow. And this is a following of the flow. If you feel the inclination to gather with us on June 21 of this year, then you're part of it already. Just start putting your energy toward it, and the means and circumstances to get you here will happen, and rather rapidly, too, because these are the days of magical creation, which means divine revelation, which means revelation of the divine, which is revelation of your abilities in creation. You see. So that's how we're creating this whole thing. It's just totally a work of the flow. Just like the Coyote Medicine Show, just like my television show, our television show, Mary Jane Gateway to Paradise, you know. It's all a work of the flow. We just get on there and start doing it and let it go where it wants to go. And that's the best way to be, don't you know? You see? So follow that flow. If it says come to Crestonia June 21, I guarantee we'll have a lot of fun. Because you're going to be hanging out with Grandpa for one. For another, it's just, you know, this area and the energy of the people and the land around you is tremendous. You know, there's a lot of personal differences here, a lot of attitudes and ingratitude. So what? Just come here and help us equitize the field, because we're just loving souls. We're loving hearts, each and every one of us. No matter how we feel about life, you know, we're some people are lower and higher than us and blah, blah, blah. Just like, oh, bullshit. Let's just be real. Let's just come and have some fun. And allow everybody else that chooses to gather with us to have a lot of fun, too. And, you know, I think out of that gathering will come some amazing and spectacular results. You know, I guarantee you we'll be gathering in a circle somewhere and sharing the energy of love and bringing forth our own form of creative reality in that time. I guarantee you we'll be doing something like that. Could be that we're already, as we're doing it here on the Old Medicine Show, could be that we're already coalescing the new reality into being, and this is a significant step along the way. This little gathering, you know, will help us do it just right. Myself, I think it's the initial union, the one that's kind of necessary to really galvanize the reality into moving forward on this. But at the same time, you know, I just let it be what it's want. That's my idea of what it could be, you know, and that's the vision I do see. So that's the vision I convey to you right now. You know, I'm not discounting myself one little bit. You know, if I see it, that's probably what it be's, you know. And so if you see it that way, then you know where you got to be on June 21, don't you? You see? So it's not just a bunch of ragtag hippies getting together to have a little love fest, but that's what it is. Ragtag hippies from the highest and lowest places on earth and everything in between. And there probably won't be more than 3 dozen of us, I would guess, but I got to put that page up just to be sure. And that'd be just the right number if that's what it is. But if it's 360, so be it. We'll do that too, you know. But I think it'll be about 36, 48 souls somewhere in there. 4 dozen, 3 dozen, something like that, you know. Like eggs in a carton, baby. Got to measure them in dozens. But I think the group will be relatively small in that sense, you know, because I'm not anticipating thousands or anything like that. But I sure am anticipating about 30 or 50 of us showing up and babies having the rockin'est, goodest time you ever saw. Because these are, if you've got that inclination, these are all of us. As I call it, you know, kind of wryly and satirically, the Coyote Vibe Tribe. But these are souls and hearts of the original nature that are being drawn here, you know. I know there's other gatherings going on at the same time all around the earth that will reflect our energy. We're just one segment of it. But a nice one, a significant one, and we get to do our thing, baby. So bring it on. June 21, we're gathering with Grandpa and Tribe at Crestonia, Colorado, and we're going to up the vibe of this planet by what? Partying around the campfire, babies, and enjoying life in the richest and most powerful way we possibly can, which is what? Sharing the communion of heart with one another. In that divine and baby-like sort of way, you know, where everybody that comes to this campfire will come there completely open and completely ready for what's happening. Everybody. Darn, my other computer just shut down and lost my chat screen. I can't see you guys now. Darn it, I'll get you back. That thing's getting real lazy. It's time to do some replacement computers here, I think. No, I think it's drives. I think that's my problem. I'm discovering that this one brand of drive that I've been using, and I won't mention the name, but I'm discovering that those things are pieces of doo-doo for the most part, and they're really not reliable, and they're a little bit dysfunctional, and they're brand new stages, you know. I mean, I've upgraded these drives a couple times, both these computers, and you know, but I've kind of stuck with this one brand that I don't think I'm going to use that anymore. I'll think I'll get the one that's got the Seagate in it or something like that, you know. Something a little better than what I've been doing. I got a 2 terabyte drive here. I've formatted that thing. I've done everything to it that I could to make it work right. And some bitch is slow and clunky no matter what I do with it. You know, why is that? You know, I mean, it's a upgraded, brand new piece of equipment. It should never be giving me such issues, you know. But I go to look for a file or store a file in there, and it takes forever, you know. It wants to hang up. Weird. I'm using Windows 7, by the way, which is, yeah, kind of glitchy, but not as bad as 8, is it? Sorry to launch off into the computer ramble there, but I just needed to soften the blow just a little bit, you know, don't you know? So you'd feel more like you are unified part of the medicine show, because we all share common issues like this. If we do anything with computers, we have common issues, babies. Especially when you're dealing with Windows. You know, that defective thing that just barely gets us by, but it gets us by. We get doing it and get going through it. Well, that's kind of a reflection of the earth around us, you know, this Windows 7 thing that's kind of imperfect, but it functions. And it gets us through. That's what we've done here in the earth reality, man. We've kind of accepted Windows 7 as a functional reality and didn't know that we could move beyond it and get into something called Ubuntu or something like that totally rocks and never has a hang-up, never has a virus, never has a glitch. Puts you in instant communication with every heart that lives, and you can assimilate and gather with your own vibrational tribe immediately. Well, that's not Ubuntu. That's the new Koyote software, right? Operating platforms. Gotta be. Well, it starts with Ubuntu and anything along that lines, because that's the free operating platform. And it's been developed by, you know, some real dedicated computer nuts for a long, long time. So it really is a pretty stable platform. Now, I haven't used it for any long-term time. I got a neighbor that does, and he's had great luck with it, where he had nothing but bad luck with Windows, you know. So that's a good thing. But, ooh, I love the innovation I'm seeing in the technological industry, you know, that especially there, you know, Red Hat's another version of it's Linux, you know. Linux is the one that's coming forward, and it will ultimately replace Windows completely, because Windows increasingly becomes a non-functional presence in our life, just like the life around us is becoming increasingly non-functional. The old ways don't vibe in the new ways of the tribe, do they? No. So, see, that's another reason why we ought to assimilate here on the 21st, because perhaps we can share enough energy with one another that will have an influence on the reality around us, and people will learn to take it a little easier, start to see what's really happening here, so they can more flow with it rather than resist and be afraid and jump around and fight and squabble and all that kind of stuff, you see. And see, there's been all this militarization here in the U.S. and all over the earth. They're trying to impose the dark and angry hand of unlove, you know, and of demanding and complete regulation of every human being that lives under the threat of death, you know. And this is the reality that's trying to create itself out there. And, of course, it's non-functioning because it's been going that way. If it would have gone in a more creative way, there might have been some saving it, you know. But since it didn't, well, it's just sputtering to a halt. It's going to come to a point of complete dissolution. And that could be around June 21, though I think in about, what's today's date? I think in about 15 days we're done with time anyway, yeah. This is the 7th, so what would it be? That's like 13 days. Yeah, 13 days away. I think it's the end of time, don't you? 5:20, you know, I think that's a plenty, and away we go. But just in case, there's still time after that. Circle June 21 on your calendar and be ready for a party, okay? And this is going to rock our socks off and everyone else's too, and it's just going to be a lot of fun, no matter what we do. Even if it's just a simple little vibrational harmonic practice around a campfire, something like that. Who cares? It's beautiful, and it'll be far more effective because a few hearts gathered and shared the wealth, came there open-hearted, because anybody that approaches this campfire comes there with an open heart, June 21. It can't be helped. It's the field of energy we create there, you see. And when you walk into it, your heart magically opens and you become pure inside of yourself, and all your energies and desires are going to come up in a natural, beautiful, poetic, harmonic sort of way, in the divine harmony, in other words. And, you know, this is going to be quite a meeting of hearts, quite a significant resynchronization of our energy fields, so that we can more properly influence this reality around us, you see, and wake up to another few steps that we might be taking that would, you know, propel the change into being in a rapid way. So, babies, you know, just come on out and play June 21 here in Crestonia, Colorado, wouldn't you say? And you guys down there in Boulder, quit being lazy. Get off your ass and get down here. It's only 200 miles, 4 hours. It's not too bad. Now get down here, you know. You lazy little suckers, you. They're surrounded by such a commercial economic reality, they can't help themselves. There's too much comfort. How can they leave all this comfort behind and go camp in a primitive campground with a bunch of dumb hippie? Well, if you got that attitude, bring it on, babies. We'll show you some gratitude. We'll show you how to be for real, in the loving way, the heartfelt way, the centered way. You know, and we might just find ourselves gathering at the center of the universe. I mean, I know it's over there in Kim, Colorado at that Kim Cafe, but maybe it's other places too. Maybe it's right here inside of me. Maybe it's right there inside of you. And maybe when you gather a few hearts together, that is the center of the universe. You see, maybe it's just you and me and everybody else you see. We're all gathered in that center, wouldn't you say? And from it, creation comes into play. And that's why we're gathering, to make it more happy, not gray, not dark, but light and beautiful. We just let the military machine dissipate and disappear. You know, its budgets are malfunctioning already because the economic reality is faltering, and economics don't work in the way they used to. You see, the pole of money is losing its appeal to people, and they're starting to look for the richer side of life, something that's meaningful. And money's only a part of that, not the whole thing, you see. And it's definitely not the determining factor. It's there to comfortably get you through whatever it is you want to do. But it doesn't have to be the basis of it. You know, it no longer determines whether you're going to advertise or not advertise, whether you're going to take this person on your payroll or not, or whether you're going to be in partnership, blah, blah, blah. You just go with the flow, and the flow brings on the glow, which brings on the life, which brings on, you know, your existence in the way you've always wanted it to be, and the money to go with it so you can do it, you know, until the money world is no more. Because it will have its end as we become this creation. What do we need money for when everything is provided and real and natural? When we just live in a flowing, loving place. See how much time we're going to have on our hands? Time will dissipate. We will be in constant creative communion. That's what we do. We're the industrial manufacturers of the universe, more or less. And there ain't no industrial about us other than we are industrious. That means we're quite productive in the heart areas. And when simple hearts gather together like this, it becomes 100 billion more times effective. I mean, just two people gathering with an open heart has a tremendous impact on this reality. It amplifies their energies by factors that just off the charts. The zeros go on forever. Just two people, let alone 20 people or 30 people or 50 people doing the same thing. Oh my God, with open hearts, it's off the charts. So baby, be here. We're going to have a great time. I appreciate you being here this morning and putting up with the old man's noise and a whole lot of rock and roll and pop and soul and R&B and everything else musically that we can find, babies, you know. But mostly it's the classical rock that helps you unwind. So that's where we kind of incline to here in this Tunage area on this Coyote Medicine Show, only on this hazy radio, don't you know. Speaking of which, let's get on. I mean, these guys been bugging me. I mean, you know, some of these performers just want to dominate the scenery, you know, and you just have to let them in every now and then, just because they're pesky, you know, but they're really good. So, babies, settle back, relax, fluff them wings. Here it comes, babies. Grandpa Coyote with a whole lot more medicine here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on that hazy radio. Don't you know, hazyradio.com? We got it on, baby.
All right now, baby, it's all